Hey, what's going on? Luke here. Both New South Wales and Queensland lineups have been revealed for State of Origin Game 2 in 2022. Obviously, going into the game, Queensland hold a 1-0 lead, and I was pretty outspoken in saying that I thought Queensland had a better side going into Game 1, and obviously that was the case. In real life, they absolutely killed it. New South Wales were very, very lackluster, and they have made a fair few changes. Now, this isn't exactly like a full first impressions, because I have kind of seen the lineups, I've seen the squad, and I've got my thoughts on them I'm going to be giving them. So I think I might tile up first impressions, but I kind of have an idea going in to what the side is basically going to be, although I don't know exactly the ins and outs of it. So we're going to start off with the New South Wales side first up. Looking at them, Tedesco fullback, Brian To'o, Daniel Tupou on the wings, and Matty Burton, Stephen Crichton in the centres. Obviously, a big deal was made about Matt Burton into the side. I was at the game on Sunday. I saw Matt Burton absolutely kill it for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs finally finding some form. Yeah, Josh Adokar still isn't there. Matt Burton goes into a position he hasn't played for quite some time. Then you got Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary in the halves. Payne Haas, Jake Trbojevic comes back into the side. Then we've got Abby Coruscant, who you're seeing on the screen right now too. He's come into the side, into the starting side, which means Damien Cook's on the bench. And then Cameron Murray, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo, the same back row as it was in the first game. They were quite lackluster, I want to say. I thought Cameron Murray had probably his worst Origin game in quite some time. Isaiah Yeo obviously knocked out in the very first tackle. Liam Martin coming in for Tarek Sims. So I guess it isn't like the official one. I think Liam Martin might have started though. Cameron Murray was on the bench, that's right, and then Liam Martin started. I don't know, Liam Martin's kind of like, I don't mind him, but I feel like they could have done someone else maybe. Got Angus Crichton coming into the side as well. Damien Cook, I've already talked about him on the bench. Junior Paulo, and then you got Talakai on the bench. So, I don't know, I really don't know what to think about this side. Do I think it's better than Game 1? I don't know. I really don't know. I had to sort of pause there for a second. I'm trying to think whether I do actually rate this side. There's a lot of question marks over this side, that's for sure. I do like Trbojevic coming into the side. I feel like Campbell Gillard was a little bit hard done by. Some of the props have been hard done by, but I feel like we missed Jake Trbojevic tidying things up in the middle, and I feel like he's going to take those shit runs. He's going to get through a mountain of work. Might not necessarily make all the meters and do all the fancy stuff, but we didn't need that in Game 1. I know our forwards were getting dominated, but we were getting dominated in the ruck, and meters wasn't really a problem in terms of like the guys who were playing. They weren't making a hell of a lot of meters anyways. So I don't mind Jake Trbojevic being in the side. You got Payne Haas I thought was actually really good in Game 1. Obviously, Jack Whiten is out due to COVID. Can't help that. I thought he was one of our best, if not the best, for New South Wales. A lot of question marks over him in Game 1, especially from myself. But Matt Burton comes into the starting side, and Stephen Crichton comes from the bench into the starting side. I talk about Burton as if he actually played. He's come into the centres. So we've got a complete new centre pairing. Last game was Jack Whiten and Katoni Staggs. I actually thought Katoni Staggs looked fairly decent when he actually got the ball. Stephen Crichton, on the other hand, I didn't really understand him on the bench, and I don't understand having Talakai on the bench as well, a guy who hasn't played in the forwards for quite some time. And when he did, I don't really remember anything remarkable. I feel like Talakai has made his name based off destroying Morgan Harper, and he's not the only one who destroyed Morgan Harper, let's be real. The side is just super unbalanced, and I thought it was that in Game 1. I feel like even just down to the bench does scare me. Damien Cook's on the bench with Talakai. You got two guys who can only play a certain amount of positions. Obviously, Damien Cook can only really play in the hooker position. Coruscant can only really play in the hooker position. So there's, in my opinion, a little bit of a waste of an interchange. At least at Queensland, right? Ben Hunt can cover the halves. He can cover some other positions. He's done a job for them just roaming around in the middle. Can't say the same for any of these guys. Talakai, like I said, he plays the centres week in, week out. Hasn't really been killing it. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been destroying or anything. Not enough that you chuck a centre onto the bench. It's almost as like it didn't work in the first game. So let's just go ahead and try it again in the second game. I don't understand Brad Fittler's selections. Got Daniel Tupou there, who didn't do anything really wrong in the first game, but also didn't really offer a hell of a lot either. Got Josh Adokar scoring tries for fun at the Bulldogs. In a team that isn't really scoring a hell of a lot of points, Josh Adokar has been. And you've added in Matt Burton. He's got the connection there. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get this side. I think it is, in my opinion, it could be worse. It could be worse than the first game. Does that mean they're going to lose? Not necessarily. I mean, they weren't that far off in Game 1. But they've made a lot of changes, and I don't know if it's for the better. I mean, like dropping a guy like Tarek Sims, who has been really good in Origin in previous years, I don't think he was that bad in Game 1. And it's not like the person they've chucked in, like Liam Martin, and having like Angus Crichton. I can understand Angus Crichton being in there. Start Angus Crichton. Just do it. I don't know. This side doesn't really do it for me. I don't know about you guys, but let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts of this New South Wales side? Because I don't really like it. I wanted to come in here and say, yeah, I have faith in this side and I really think New South Wales is going to win, but it's just not doing it for me. There's a lot of like good selections, right? I don't mind Crichton, I don't mind Burton. Like the back line, I don't mind. The Haas obviously pick themselves, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary. It's just like the Panthers guys didn't have the Panthers form in the previous game. So what's the solution? Let's go ahead and chuck another Penrith guy in. Obviously, totally different games in NRL to State of Origin. I don't know if it's a good move just picking all the Penrith guys and hoping for the best. But yeah, I do like Matt Burton in the centres. So I think he's got that physicality. He's probably the closest you're going to get to Jack Whiten. So if they're looking for a Jack Whiten replacement, a guy who is quite versatile, he's your man. And like I said, Tony Staggs, I feel like he's a little bit unlucky, but I don't know. I feel like the New South Wales side, it definitely didn't pick itself. It is a hard team to pick at the moment, especially with all the injuries and that. But even like the squad is quite strange. Like Radley being in the squad, I don't understand it. I really don't. Anyways, now we move on to the Queensland side. Going to go through 1 to 22 because they've named 22 players. Got Kalen Ponga at fullback, Selwyn Cobbo, and Murray Tuilagi, who comes into the side for Xavier Coates because of the injury that he sustained in game 1. Then you got Sanders, Holmes, Gagai. I'm assuming not going to be a lot of changes here. Lindsay Collins, Josh Papali'i in the front row. Benny Hunt is the starting hooker once again. I thought that was a masterstroke by Billy Slater. Kurt Capewell, Felice Kafusi, Big Tino. Then you got Harry Grant. Jai Arrow comes into the side. Carrigan's in the side as well, and Nanai as well. So look, it is a very, very strong side. If you want to go through the rest of them, Dearden, Flagler, Fermor, Oates, Walsh. I feel like a guy like Fermor, I feel like he could be someone who could come in the next few years. I actually understand their squad. It makes sense to me. They haven't just picked players willy-nilly. New South Wales have basically done that, like chucking guys like Radley in. Then you don't have a squad guy like Josh Adokar in the team. I just don't understand it. Whereas the Queensland side, everything sort of gels. Look at that back line. You've got Cobbo, got Tuilagi, two powerful guys, two guys who have been in great form. You got Holmes and Gagai, another two guys who have performed at Origin level and are in great form. Ponga's always been pretty good for Queensland. Haas pick himself. Front row, like the forward pack has pretty much picked itself as well in terms of they were perfect in the last game, so why change things? And then the bench is pretty much the strongest they could have picked out of everybody available. Whereas New South Wales, you look at them and you're like, I don't understand why this guy's here and I don't understand why this guy's here. With the Queensland side, everybody makes sense. Harry Grant coming off the bench and taking over from Ben Hunt once the game's sort of been going, there's a little bit of fatigue. Makes sense. Harry Grant can run the ball. Ben Hunt is great at hooker, so you've got a couple options there. So if Ben Hunt's killing it, you can leave him on. Harry Grant can come on and just roam around. Like there's so many options for this Queensland side that New South Wales just don't have, and I feel like that's why it's so frustrating. And I feel like for me, that's why Queensland still has the better side. Like it just has to be said. And I wish I wasn't saying that, but I don't know, something about the Queensland team, it just gels, and it actually feels like there is a game plan. Like for New South Wales, they've chucked in Daniel Tupou because he's got the height, but then Brian Toyo's in the side who has no height. So it's like, I don't know, on one hand, like you can kind of see some sort of tactic there, but then they go against that, like literally on the other side. Like I don't understand it at all. It really doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of like if you aren't going to pair Burton up with Toyo, you could have paired him up with Josh Adokar. They've got a great little connection on the left-hand side, although Toyo obviously has got a connection with Jerome Luai. But I don't understand the New South Wales side, and I completely understand the Queensland side. And I don't know if that's just because Queensland have a lot better players to choose from, but I feel like New South Wales, their peak players are better than the Queensland players. Like if you're doing a video game or something, I feel like you'd probably get higher overall for the New South Wales side, and yet the Queensland side just looks so much better. Like Capewell, Kafusi, Tino. Like Capewell is so good. He's made for Origin. Kafusi always steps up. Bit of a grub, but he always steps up. Like Lindsay Collins, Papali'i. I really do like this Queensland side, and it really pains me to say it as a New South Wales supporter. I hope that New South Wales can win this one, but seeing these lineups, it definitely doesn't fill me with confidence. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the Queensland side? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say that the New South Wales side is better and that I'm crazy, and that the Queensland side is better and that I'm spot on, and there's going to be people who come back after the game, just like they did for game 1, and talk about how I was right or how I was wrong. Just the nature of the beast making these sort of videos. But it is fun to always make these sort of videos and talk about the teams and talk about what I like, talk about what I don't. But what is fun as well is to see what you guys think. Do you guys like these sides? Is there any changes you would have made? Like I said, I feel like Angus Crichton is someone who I would have started. They haven't done that, but Coruscant starting, I don't necessarily mind it, but I don't know. I don't like Damien Cook on the bench, like if that makes sense. So I don't know. I really don't like the New South Wales side, and I really like the Queensland side, and it feels dirty saying that. But I've said that a couple times now. So that's going to be the last time I say it. And I'm going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook's Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is Mr. Luke and YT. Give me a follow, give me an ad. Also, become a member of the channel. We have a lot of new members. Thanks to King Aurelius. Thanks to Mac Galaxy. They gifted a lot of memberships. So if you're in the streams, you might even get gifted a membership. But definitely go check it out. Click on the link in the description below. Take a look at the tiers. Take a look at the levels. Pick one out. Become a member. It really, really supports the channel. Anyways, guys, State of Origin Game 2 is here. It's coming up very, very quickly. I'm going to be making plenty of videos on it. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for more content on the channel. And I'll see you on the next one. See yous.